Okay, so I have a lot of people who've been asking me, how do you even play melee in Warzone 2? What is a melee player? Or some guys call us shield players, but those of us who are within the community who actively play with a riot shield and a melee weapon, we consider ourselves melee players. So for those of you who want to learn how to get better at it, I suggest that you either that you start watching Connor Dose, or you can watch TKO. They both are like some of the godfathers of Warzone melee. They're really good at it. Connor Dose is amazing. TKO is amazing too. They have completely different play styles. And what you're going to see right here is one of my high kill games. I'll also leave a link to their channels in my description as well. So, because I learned this style from Connor Dose. But there's a few things you have to learn to be able to play melee. Number one is you have to learn to use guns, because Warzone's not at the point where you start off the match with a melee weapon. It's not going to happen. You got to find guns. So you have to be at least decent with guns, because you're going to have to use them to at least get your loadout or whatever the case may be. So you're going to have to be good with guns. That's the first thing you have to remember. Be good with guns. At least decent. You don't got to be the greatest, but at least be decent enough to hold your own until you can get your loadout, go to a stronghold and get that, or go to a or buy your loadout. So that's the first tip. The second tip that you have to learn, which is equally as important, is you have to have decent movement. Your movement has to be pretty darn good, because remember, you don't have the range that someone with a gun is going to have. You're not going to have the range. So it's something you have to be aware of. You're not going to have the range of someone who has a gun. So you have to be patient. You have to have good movement, be able to maneuver. I know when to get out, know when to get in. Some of the same things you have to know with a gun, you have to know some of those same things with the when you're running a melee loadout. So we're gonna watch this highlight. This is a 12 kill win that I had. So we're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna break down some of the stuff that's happening, how it happened, what I saw, and things of that nature. So right now, this is just me floating around waiting for the stronghold. Matter of fact, I'll skip ahead. So as you can see, I made it to the stronghold. I had to shoot a guy. That's how I got my other kill with this guy. I used my melee, stun, boom, he turned his back. I recognized it affected him. My speed beats him to the punch. Though that is an advantage you have. If you are fully plated, you can beat most people to the punch. Now, I wouldn't recommend that with some of these guns, trying to beat everyone to the punch. But most times you can if you're fully plated, if you're in close quarters. The other thing I always recommend is when you're traveling between buildings, have your shield up. Now, this is actually a time when I lost. I died right here. And it's because I didn't play this right. I really should have just let this guy go and shouldn't even went over there. I should have just stayed over where I was at, or swung around, looped all the way around. But I tried to push this guy, and it didn't go well. These are the kinds of things that can happen in Warzone when you're playing melee. I can't shoot the guy. I don't have a gun. So I tried to go in through the bottom right here. It didn't work. I got caught. He came out. He killed me. Okay. Now, the way I respond to this, I do not ever recommend. I would never recommend this. But I do recommend that you be as competitive as possible to be successful with melee. You have to be extremely competitive. So what I ended up doing right here was I died. I responded because I had a redeployment thing, I think. Yeah, I think it's called redeployment. Where I come straight back into the game. I went right back to that dude. Right back to him. You see where I'm at right now? All of this, that is a weakness. You never want to be in open field when you're using melee, because you have no range. You want to always be in close quarters. As a melee guy, your strength is close quarters and movement. If you can move, jump around, bunny hop, everything like that, you have an extreme advantage. And also, do not forget, your riot shield is a weapon. You can beat people with your riot shield, because sometimes you can't switch. The switch between the riot shield and the melee weapons is pretty bad. So this guy was pretty good. He was moving. He kept moving. And honestly, I recommend you moving. When you are using your stun, you have to keep moving. Do not get stuck. You have to keep moving. Because if you don't keep moving, if someone has a Syntex or a Thermite, you'll get stuck with it, and it's going to kill you. So you have to keep moving. Even when you're throwing a stun, either move forward, backward, sideways, you better keep moving. Because you don't want to give them an easy target. So here, I closed the distance. I used my riot shield. I was fully plated. I got him out of here. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. This is another situation right here. I'm in the bathroom. I know he's there. He knows I'm there. Threw my stun. I heard it. Boom. You see them points on the joint? So now I know he was affected. You cannot run me. Okay. So your strength as a melee user will always be within those buildings. I used to destroy prison in Warzone 1. Right? Now, these buildings right here, I destroy these buildings. These buildings are mine. The stuff I can do in these buildings is ridiculous. Because it's too close. But again, the downside to it. Now look at what I do here. I throw the stun and I immediately get behind him. If you can get behind your opponent after you stun them, that is the best way to do it. You don't want to throw the stun and then go directly in front of them if you can avoid that. If you can avoid it, do not go directly in front of them. Get behind them so that you can safely win that matchup. Because if you get in front of them, like remember I said earlier, you can win. You can beat a lot of your opponents to the punch because you're quicker. A lot of them. That's not 100%. You will run into that 1, 2, 3, 4% of guys who can beat you to the punch. So it's best to use your stun like this. Boom. Keep moving like I was just doing. Get behind him. Just like that. Right? Now, actually, here, I put 3 guys down. Like I said, your riot shield is a weapon, man. Don't try to be too pretty. Your riot shield is a weapon. Get him out of here. And if you're running melee without the restock perk, you are playing yourself. Make sure you're running the restock perk. I messed up here because I ended up switching up my knife for syntaxes, but they can still be valuable. So here, this is a situational game now. It's the last circle. I have to be real careful. I got to be aggressive, but be careful. Right? Because I see the one over there. There's 3 of us left, including me. I know there's one across. I know there could only be one behind me. I just got shot. There he is. So I have to keep moving. Because if I stay still, I'm going to sit and duck. He may have a syntax, which he actually ends up having. He's going to keep trying to stick me with it. Sorry, this is why I say keep moving. But by the grace of God, he actually sticks me with the syntax. So normally that's over, but it's not. See? This is why you should be buying self-reses, UAVs, gas masks. You need to make sure you have these things. Warzone is not just about going around killing people. You have to be structured in how you do things. Situational awareness now. So we're just waiting to see the guy. Where is he at? I know he's not behind me. Right? I know he's not behind me because of the gas. So I know he's not there. Where's the guy at? Be patient. You have to be patient. Patient and persistent at this point. And there he goes. All right. So he threw his weapon. It didn't get there. I stunned him. And when he tried to run away, got him. If you want any more tips, let me know. Post them down below and I'll answer all of them. Thank you.